Brett Okamoto with ESPN.com and MMA Live, reporting from UFC 127 in Sydney, Australia. And I'm joined right now by UFC President Dana White. And Dana, a lot to talk about with this card. First things first, have you guys decided on the bonuses yet?
Yeah, the bonuses are going to go to Mark Hunt gets a knockout of the night. Lytle and Ebersol get the fight of the night, obviously. And then Kyle Note gets the submission of the night. And they all win $75,000 each.
Talk about the main event. Another high-profile fight ends inconclusively with a draw. First of all, do you agree with it? Did you think it was a draw?
No, I didn't think it was a draw. And actually, I went and looked at the scorecards, and two judges that actually made it a draw had BJ winning the first and second round, then gave the third round a 10-8. So it's there was a lot of bad judging tonight. Two fights that they really screwed up.
So did you think you agreed with them that Penn won the first two, but it should have been a 10-9 for Fitch in the third?
Yeah, you never know how the judges are going, but I personally, I scored the first two for Penn. I had Penn winning round 1 and 2. BJ got on the bottom in the last 30 seconds, and you never know what the judges are going to do when that happens. But and there's absolutely no way, there's no doubt BJ got pounded in that third round, but that wasn't a 10-8 round.
So the UFC has a history.
Thanks, buddy. That's all I need.
What was that? What was that for?
He heard me saying that I thought he won the fight, so he just gave me money. That's all I need.
Now, you guys have a history of sometimes when the judges get it wrong, it's a draw. You treat it as a win for one of the fighters. Is this a situation where that could happen?
Say that again?
You guys, the UFC has a history of treating it as giving Penn basically a win and moving him along, even though the judges said it was a draw. Is there a chance that
we'll do that? We'll do that with Fukuda. The BJ fight was close. And who knows what other people are saying? I'm sure some people think that Fitch won the fight. It was one of those fights that was really close. And I say it all the time: don't leave it in the hands of the judges. I'm not a judge, so I thought it was close enough to where I don't say BJ absolutely won this fight. In my opinion, yes, I gave BJ the first 2 rounds, and I don't think the last round was a 10-8. But my opinion means nothing. In the Fukuda fight, there's no doubt who won that fight. And yes, we will treat him. He will get paid his money like he won, and we will move him along just like he won the fight, because he definitely won that fight.
I know that you have to get on a plane and fly back to Vegas. A lot of time to think about this, but what is going to happen with the welterweight division right now? I mean, you have a champion that's possibly moving up. You have to find out what happens with that on April 30th. Now you have a draw between 2 of the top guys in the division. Just your gut feeling, how do you think this shakes out?
Well, you can't look at the GSP Anderson Silva fight. It's a fantasy still. It's something that everybody, that would be. He's got to get through Jake Shields. And Jake Shields, let me tell you what, Jake Shields is a winner, man. You think he's the most exciting guy you've ever seen. He might kind of fly under the radar. This guy wins fights. He gets in there and he figures out how to win. So this is not a done deal. And, again, this is still a fantasy fight. I literally haven't sat down and had an honest conversation with George St. Pierre or Anderson Silva about how this would all come together. It's got to happen first before we can even start playing. It's fun to talk about, but it's not a reality. And as far as Fitch goes, Fitch is one of these guys that's like, I want my respect. I want my respect. He just fought a 155-pound guy and went to a draw with him. And in my opinion, lost the first 2 rounds, and he's crying for a title shot. You got to get in there and decisively beat people, and you have to have the fans clamoring to see you fight for the title.
Last question on the main event. BJ, it seemed like he was keeping this close to his chest, that he was strongly considering retirement from what it sounded like in the post-fight interview with Joe Rogan. Had you heard about this, and what kind of conversation did you have with him after the fight?
Yeah, none. I just went in there and talked to him, about the scoring, but I don't, I don't get into his business or any guy's business, whether he's thinking about. We wait and see what happens first in the fight. And I figured that if BJ lost to Fitch, he'd probably be thinking something like that. Okay, I was, I went for 2 title shots at 155. I lost. I moved up to 170, beat Hughes, lose to Fitch. Where do I go now? And, he's a great fighter who's been around for since the day we bought this company. And, today I agree with what he said today after the fight. Hey, listen, it didn't go my way, and I'm not going to sit here and say I thought BJ won 2 and I didn't think the last one was, but I'm not saying BJ won this fight. It was a very, very close fight. So, I don't know what to do with it. We'll figure it out. I don't know if you do this rematch or what you do. I don't know.
Okay, moving on to the co-main event, just your general thoughts on it. A lot of emotions between the two guys. You had an illegal knee that looked borderline intentional from Michael in the first round.
It looked absolutely intentional. And, he walked over to the corner and was like, but I said, you hit him with a knee you're not supposed to hit him with. It's just, listen, I don't care if you don't like the guy. I don't care how much you hate him. You don't start doing stuff like that. It's, you don't. You don't hit guys with illegal knees. And even after the fight, I mean, these guys are all emotional. Come on. I'm pretty sure it's over now, but that stuff drives me crazy.
So at the end of the day, is Michael Bisping's status in the middleweight division higher or lower than it was when he came to Australia?
Yeah, well, he won tonight. He won, and he won impressively. And let's face it, you can hate Bisping. You might not like him, but he came in tonight and beat Jorge Rivera. Jorge Rivera knocks people out, and he hit Bisping with some good shots. Bisping took him and ended up finishing Rivera. You've got to give Bisping his respect. Whether you don't like him, you don't like his attitude, you got to respect the guy.
And then the third fight of the night, Dennis Seaver upsets George Sotiropoulos. I know you're a guy who's seen everything basically in the sport, but you got to admit, were you a little surprised by this outcome?
No, I wasn't surprised. I think Seaver is a monster, man. I thought this was a dangerous fight. What did surprise me in the fight was that he couldn't take him down one time. I mean, Seaver's takedown defense looked awesome tonight. He looked like he gassed a little bit in that second round, but he fought a great fight. He looked like a machine.
And some people have been saying that you guys were being so slow with Sotiropoulos on his way to the title. Was this a reason? Did you guys kind of see something in him, like he's not ready, or was it not something like that?
No. What's wrong with Sotiropoulos, Seaver, and all these other guys is there's so many nasty guys in the 155-pound division. It's stacked. I mean, it's a tough division to be in. It's a tough division to stay on top and to work your way up to a title shot.
So what does this win do for Seaver then? Where is he at in your mind in the division?
He's in the mix. I said if Sotiropoulos won this tonight, Seaver's in the mix. Not only, it's not like Seaver just came out and won. Seaver beat a really good guy and looked damn good doing it.
A few more questions not related to this one. Do you guys know, do you have an official date yet for Brock Lesnar Jr. dos Santos?
Yeah, what was it? I forgot.
The Vancouver show, UFC 131.
Oh, look at my teleprompter.
We talked about this before the camera got on, so everybody knows.
All right. Yeah, it's June 11th in Vancouver. It'll actually air after the finale of The Ultimate Fighter.
And are you guys sold on having the July 2nd show in Las Vegas? That's typically where you hold it, or are there some rumblings about taking it elsewhere?
Which one? What did you say?
July 2nd, your 4th of July show is usually in Las Vegas. Is that going to continue to be in Las Vegas? I
think so, yeah. I'm not sure, though. Listen, I just got done with this one, and I got to fly home, finish The Ultimate Fighter, then go to Louisville. I honestly don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, last question. Some reports came out last week that you guys are reconsidering your cut of Brandon Vera. Can you just kind of talk about that? And is that accurate? Are we going to see him again?
He's uncut. He's back, yeah.
And talk about why?
Yeah, the way that whole thing went down, and Thiago Silva ended up, testing positive for whatever the hell happened. Yeah, exactly. Whatever weirdness went on there, and that he got busted for, we thought it was fair to bring Brandon back.
All right, well, thank you very much, Dana, and congratulations on a successful event.
Thanks.